Also, in the previous series, Ziggs just kind of stops everybody from doing what they want to do, so I want to see that banned away here by either side, honestly. I want to see something new in the mid lane. I want to see less poke. I want to see all-ins.
Well, Echo is enabled, so
that's true.
Maybe we'll see him. We haven't actually gotten to see him played so far in the North American Challenger Series. Again, we did see him once yesterday over in Europe, or for the Europeans out there 2 days ago in Europe, but either way, Hecarim is gone. Ziggs banned away by CLG Black.
Test Jinte. He played it both times.
Yeah. I know he can play other mid-range team fight mages, but we'll see what else he does have for himself. Still, no one is allowing these supports to first pick Alistar. Seems to be the pick of the leader, the leader of the pack, the herd, whatever you want to call it. No Callisto for Frost. We keep going through bans.
Yeah, Alistar has been absolutely dominant pretty much throughout every region because he fits into pretty much every strategy.
Yep.
Because if you want to poke, he's great disengage. If you want to go in, he's great engage. If you want to dive turrets, he does that as well. Like, he is all around one of the best supports at the moment. Yeah. He's got really good lane pressure too.
Most multifaceted. He doesn't pick people off that well. Like, his engage range is worse than someone like Nautilus or Annie.
Yeah.
Like, Flash Headbutt Pulverize is kind of hard to do. Flash Timbers is easy.
Yeah. He still has enough lockup to pull something up.
Yeah, I mean,
off like
he
that,
has engaged. I'm just saying, like, in sort of the graph of who engages best, he's like 3rd, 4th down the list.
That's still pretty high.
I know it is.
He's really good.
I'm just pointing out things like, well, there's reasons you might go Annie. I'm just sort of fleshing out the conversation. I'm not disagreeing with you as far as his power is concerned. I think it's a worthy ban, absolutely. Ryze banned away, also obviously very, very worthy. Rek'Sai banned out by CLB, and the insta-lock into Gragas. They realized with Ryze still left on the table, they knew that had to be banned away. They got to pinch junglers.
Yep, exactly. And that's what I love seeing is if you're going to pinch junglers, you're going to force them onto Sejuani hard. He did play Nunu, and they synergized it with Jinx more often than not from Laud, and then they also had a Janna behind it too. So I want to see something along those lines with the Nunu coming out from hard, because that's a champion that he's had some great performances on in the past.
We'll see if that ends up being the choice for them. And hey, who else to play Nunu with but Jinx, right? Just the great backline power could be there for C9T if they choose to go for that kind of a style. 25 seconds to go. C9T also very controlled of their champ select. They don't hover. They make sure they're on the same page.
People are learning.
Together. Yeah, I mean, this is the old C9 way, and I'm glad it's actually trickling down to everyone else over time. They decide Sivir's the champion they want, though. No, Maokai's the champion they want. Solo, his 3rd game in a row, I believe, on the champion, and they do, in fact, say they still want Sivir.
All right, I guess they still want it. They want to run straight at somebody, but that's really risky. I'm not 100% sold on that. I think Laud's performance on Jinx was really good, although he has had, that was his first loss on Sivir, and their first loss in general, so he's 4-1 on it. So I can't knock it too hard, but it needs the right champions around it. And Jinte's champion pool just doesn't seem to be the same as Yasui's, right? Yasui was all about jumping in there, all about getting into the fray. Jinte's more of a poke guy.
Yeah, Sivir can help you disengage as the poke champion, but when he got out-poked by the Kog'Maw, then they didn't mean much of anything. This is actually where I would expect to see that Kog'Maw picked, by the way. Even though we know there are counter picks out there, Jinte doesn't play that kind of stuff. I believe Scarra actually did blind pick the Cog earlier on. If I could be wrong in that one, actually.
He did. He did, and then the
Scarra was happy to blind pick it. Now they get rid of the Ziggs that they won against, but they don't go for the Cog here. Gnar picked up, which was safe anyway. They saw Maokai, also Vayne, even though they saw Sivir. So CLG Black back to, playing reactive picks, not showing anything they don't have to aside from that earlier pitch onto Gragas.
And they don't care about, like, oh, we'll get a power pick early on. They're like,
just
they're like jungler, that's fine. Now we're going to react to all of your picks instead of securing meta things that are like number 1 and 2 in the roles. They're still getting things that are along those lines. I think that Frost on this Vayne, I talked about I would be scared to see a Vayne. It only succeeds in certain situations. And hard, I want to see the Nunu now from him because that's the best pick now, because that just destroys Vayne late game. You snowball or you ulti her. Even if he goes like challenging smite, you put even more pressure on her.
I would almost do a jungle Nautilus just to have like as far as things that exist that mess with Vayne, right? Like, let me do some point and click CC that you can't tumble out of or even easily QSS, but you're right. Nunu, there it is. Going to be the hover, going to be the lock-in, and Jinte does take the Kog'Maw away, so as far as good poke champions are concerned, Kog'Maw's up there. It's a good replacement for Ziggs, and it denies it from Scarra, who did very well in the champion earlier.
Yeah, denying it from Scarra is pretty much the main point here, and the fact that he doesn't get Ziggs, he gets to go on another poke champion, so he doesn't really have to change his style or the style that he's fitting in, because he is a substitute on Cloud9 Tempest. They don't have to change too much between games because he's just going to be filling the same role. It's not him on an assassin. They're like, okay, he's coming in with us. So I like that he's going with something pretty similar in terms of play style and pattern.
Yeah, and I think it'll work well for Jinte. So C9T, they do show their mid laner here, which means CLG Black can, as they've been doing this entire time of champs, like counterpick another lane. This one, the mid lane, the only blind pick they've had all the champs select is the Gragas, which is fine, it's a pinch, and now they have to blind pick their support into a lane matchup that they're already kind of fairly aware of. Yeah,
support-wise, Sheep. I mean, he could go with Thresh and start fights as well, and be alongside Solo and Laud starting the fights. But I think it's going to be more along the lines of like a Janna or something, because like they need something to peel and something to keep people away.
Yeah,
especially with LeBlanc now, because LeBlanc coming in, that signals that you're going to need something to help peel, because he's just going to get straight to Jinte every time. So Scarra on LeBlanc this game, trying to take it over, over very early, because he just played AP Cog, and he realized if I start losing blues, if I start losing mid lane, you're not going to lose too much to a Ziggs. If you lose to a LeBlanc, though, you get chunked out, your blue gets sacrificed.
You just die over and over again.
Exactly. There's all this pressure you can put on the AP Cog and try to keep him down. And there,
Okay, so Janna gets picked up here. Now, the big detriment is that C9T have exactly one point-and-click hard CC, and that is Maokai Root, that he can maybe try to lock down LeBlanc, but there are very few tools to actually stop Scarra from running all over these team fights.
You just need that one of Maokai, though. That Maokai Root really messes up LeBlanc, but LeBlanc, if he plays it well, can actually mess up the Maokai pretty hard.
Exactly. So it can be a bit of a risk, but C9T have their poke in here, and CLG Black actually splitting up or switching up their team comp a little bit. This is the first time we're seeing Scarra not on a poke champion. It was Varus in game 1, Kog'Maw in game 2. Now he's over on LeBlanc with practically the same supporting cast around this one. So CLB changing a core member of the composition without changing anything else.
Yeah, that's something we have to definitely keep our eyes on, because he's going for that assassin into the AP Cog that he just played. He knows the spikes of that champion. Is he able to actually leverage that enough and start taking over the game and roaming? Because AP Kog'Maw just doesn't roam.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple things to point out then with this, is we talk about how we think we need Scarra to take over the game in order for CLB to win, or to be really useful for the team, right? Well, you've got a jungle mismatch in a certain case. You've got Gragas, who is one of the best gankers early game, body slam, explosive casts, all wonderful things, up against an immobile Kog'Maw, and he's not even going to cleanse much of anything in this comp in the first place. On the other side, you've got Nunu, who's not exactly the best early ganker. He can slow you down for like the Kog'Maw skill shots, but it's not exactly the same kind of emphasis.
Yeah. He's not going to really have that much impact in terms of ganking, but it all comes down to how hard is going to play it. I mean, I've seen Nunu's walk up, snowball people, and then get a kill off of it because the person flashed away, and they're still very slow. It also depends on what he maxes too, because if he goes for the consume max, it's really him just trying to keep Think Card down and control vision with the Scuttlers.
And he could do that too, of course. So you're right. How hard plays it definitely matters here. Right now, C9T looking for the defensive start in their own jungle, but they will not get invaded upon. No deep wards at all for C9T, but actually, CLG Gaming Black managed to sniff this out a little bit. They're actually sending Vayne and Nautilus into the bottom side and do get a nice ward on the Gromp. They put it down about 112, so it will definitely spot if that camp is started.
If it is started, Kenny will probably have something to say about it. Being that Nautilus very early on with the Riptide.
And it's a lane swap.
Yeah. Is he going to start on that side, though? Hard. Might get a little greedy for this. Maokai's coming over after. He's setting up the Raptors.
Yeah, and I think this is, by the way, as far as lane swaps are concerned, to the detriment of C9T. Maokai's a good jungler, but so is Gnar. The thing is, Sivir Janna is a very, very good early lane, and it will beat up Vayne Nautilus. There's just no tools for Vayne Nautilus to get back into that matchup. And C9T blind pick a lane swap, and it's incorrect here. Kenny is, in fact, going to walk in, try to harass this jungle path.
Yo, what's up? Nautilus here, trying to wreck your jungle route.
Easy smite for hard.
Yep. Smite, consume.
He's going to have Ice Mode Blast, so it's still going to be a little bit difficult for Kenny.
Kenny does stand a little bit of a chance to actually steal this one, because he knows consume is down. But he's actually just going to walk away.
Okay, there we go.
Waited for that last.
Yeah, they stopped hitting it and then consumed it. This is why you run smite on supports, by the way.
Then they get super paranoid and they don't even let it get in smite range. They're like, oh god, just make them get off of it. But they take so much damage.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I'm not really that serious.
No. Oh. Sorry. I usually take you serious. I should probably stop.
Since when do you take me seriously?
Never, I lied. Anyway, we see Kenny.
I was kidding. I didn't take you serious either. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know if I take you serious on that or not.
You should.
Are you really sorry?
No. Ha! ThinkCard smites it away. So looks like 2 buffs for the blue side here. CLB able to get a pretty safe jungle path for ThinkCard, all things considered.
Everything coming to this bottom lane. 4 on 3.
3.
They see this though. Lorlo, that's they're trying to wrap around. I mean, it's a Nunu and a Janna. Level 1 Janna though.
All right, but she has exhaust, so the first person to dive is going to get really heavily slowed. Lorlo nowhere near Mega Gnar, and the whole time Lada's getting solo farm on this Sivir.
I've seen this dive before. Enemy.
Oh man.
Let's see what happens this time.
All right.
Trying to walk right up.
3 on Lorlo means he can disengage himself. The body slam lands a lot of damage on a sheep. Kenny has aggro, flashes away, takes the last turret shot and dies. First blood into Maokai, ice blast out of Lorlo. They get a trade kill back on a sheep, but it's still advantage for CLG Black. Indigo onto hard, and they will knock down the Nunu, but again traded back, so C9T is still trading equal.
At least they're trading equal, though. And it's going to be all this experience going to solo. Meanwhile, Laud is actually farming that huge top wave for himself. So they stop the Vayne farm, and they continue the farm of this Sivir. So Vayne's going to stick around. This bot lane, man, that's a big freeze. He's just getting beaten up by the minions. Oh, got a little too close.
A bit far, yeah. He's gonna lose a lot of, not only some of the CS, but also the freeze itself might break here. And in fact, there it is. There's the hard clear. Yeah, this freeze got broken. He didn't thin out the wave properly, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was afraid of taking too much damage, but it's a lane swap scenario. You should be a little more bold to actually take some of that damage that the minions are throwing at you.
Yeah, I mean, just hit him while the wave's still getting cleared in the first place. He just, I think he might have been like watching the bot lane or something. Like, I don't know what it was, but there are ways to keep that freeze from screwing up like that. Unfortunate misplay by Laud. Not the end of the world, of course. This game is still absolutely fine. Pretty much equal game. The turret dive was interesting.
Oh, hard. Oh, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
That is a turret hitting you, and hard will go down. Kill goes over to Lorlo, thankfully. Kenny,
what were you doing?
Did some damage, but it wasn't quite enough. So that is a kill picked up. Yeah, I missed that. I think he was trying to go for some invades. He was Nunu after all, so if he wanted to steal like a Gromp or something, we'll have the replay in a second, actually. So you don't have to look yourself necessarily.
Boy, see what he was doing.
Okay, well, Zirene's going to go look for what happened on that one.
I have no idea
we're going to have a deep replay anyway, so you're going to look at what happened.
Oh, yeah, no.
We're going to watch probably that tower dive, I'm guessing, on the screen, which was pretty interesting, I got to say. So, okay, let's watch aggro. Kenny pulls it first because all he has to do is hit his cooldowns and then leave. Pops the ignite, gets rooted, which means he can't leave in time now. Yep. The Maokai Q secures it. Yeah, he can't get away now.
Oh, takes that last shot, but they get first blood, and ThinkCard picks up that kill for himself. But right here, it's actually a little confusing because you would think that ThinkCard actually pulls aggro on this, but he doesn't. It's actually...
Yeah, he does.
He does. Yeah, he does, and then he drops it. That's right.
Walks out of range, somebody heal to get him out.
But Lorlo
landed an auto hack to finish the kill.
ThinkCard.
And ThinkCard could have taken one more shot,
He was thinking he could take one more, yeah. The heal came out, though. They weren't expecting the heal from Frost to actually keep him healthy enough for it. Yeah.
Right? Like, how many 4-on-3 turret dives have you played with your sub? I haven't. Any.
Do you have a sub?
Yeah. Sure. Why not? Either way, haven't played in any 4-on-3 turret dives level 2 in my life, so good luck communicating that properly.
Yeah, it's actually a really hard turret dive to pull off in the first place.
Yeah.
Hard. He actually just walked by the pink ward, he walked by the river, and Kenny's like, okay, let's give him the old wraparound here. Lorlo from the top, Kenny from the bottom. Oh, boy.
It's like, oh dear, that's the enemy team. Gets rooted up. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, he may have just been better off walking...
To the turret right away?
No, out the way he came.
Oh, just through the Gnar?
Through the Gnar. Like, you blood boil yourself, you frost him.
Yeah, Nautilus couldn't have reached you, so you're absolutely right. That could have been the way it did. But
we're back.
That beautiful replay to transition into the game going live.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it took me a second.
A really long replay. We're going to replay the entire game, actually.
Oh, boy, speaking of replays, that's not going to happen right now. But I'm replaying this in my head because,
oh man, he stops the Kenny anchor out as well. Buys him a lot of time. Nice Q from Laud, who still hasn't bought yet, but does enough damage anyway. Gets the kill. C9T once again able to equalize. And it's money on their AD carry.
Back and forth between these two teams. Every game has been like this. They trade an objective, and then they just get it traded right back once you think a team has a foothold in the game. You really just can't count the other one out.
Right now, speaking of footholds, both these AD carries sitting on BF sword money. So let's go ahead and get a foothold into my items and do plenty more damage. Last time around, C9T looked for turrets to push down. And it would still be a good matchup for the Sivir to face Vayne with the attack damage lead.
Is that just a Janna by himself? Yeah, Sheep is just getting the freeze on in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, Lado's soloing top the entire time. That's why he's level 6. They let him solo farm up until he could get the BF sword buddy, then they swapped the lanes back.
Scarra actually has quite a bit of pressure in this lane. Up against Jinte, you can see 13 CS up, even minion waves at the moment. Able to pressure him out.
Yeah, and this is actually going quite well. 15 CS lead for Scarra, almost baiting them into picking the Kog'Maw. They had all the abilities to pick him second round on blue side and said, no, we don't need that. Go ahead and take it. We'll counterpick you. Totally fine.
They took it early. They last picked their support.
Which one?
On the side of C9T. They took the Kog'Maw early.
Right, that's what I mean. Scarra's like, yeah, I'll let you take it. And C9T thought they were stealing, but Scarra got a counterpick here.
They didn't wait for the counterpick in the mid lane. Instead, they let Scarra get the counterpick in this game, and that might be what makes it. We'll have to keep tabs on if he keeps getting blues, if Scarra can actually snowball this lead any further. But it's going to be the first back there for Jinte. Scarra actually jukes it. He's going to continue to clear one more minion wave.
Oh man, Lorlo misses the jump though, and his flash is down, so if Solo lands the root, it's up in 5 seconds. He might kill him off. Down to
Hyper.
1 second to go.
Oh.
And it's too close to Meganar. Solo does not risk it. He would have died if he gets that wrong. Meganar came in and transformed.
Oh, Hard's here. But they're
this is my jungle. I'm Nunu. Smite Consume gets it. Think card to jump the wall. Lana's here with the Sivir ulti on, and a lot of damage comes out of Kog'Maw. Kenny will Q away. He's one hit from dead, though, and Hard's in range. So is Laud. There's another kill. 2-0 on the AD carry.
They didn't want that blue buff to go over to Jinte, but Jinte had just backed. Scarra hadn't backed yet. Scarra had no items. So there's a disadvantage anyway. You can see Frost going to cut his losses, go straight to the bottom lane once again. Yeah,
that was overly greedy. CLG Black, one of the few big mid-game misplays I've seen from them, but that one caught him quite a bit.
I think C9T's gotten every first 2 dragons in this series. First 2 have gone over to every
single game. I think you're right about that one. In game 1 it was 5, and then 1 got picked back. And then, yeah, in game 2 it was 2, and then 4 got picked back or something like that.
3 or 4.
Yeah. So you're seeing, the thing is, Frost doesn't have to be bot lane anymore. So the reason that we've kept seeing these lanes show up this way is, at this stage in the game, when you back for your first 1500 gold item, your dual lane has to be bot lane because they need to be there for Dragon. Otherwise, Drag goes for free. It's a bit of a bad matchup for Vayne at this small point in time, but it's where, like, she has to be. But now Dragon's gone. Now, actually, CLB could swap the lanes back over, put Vayne top lane, do cool things like that. And you can see that it takes so much time and effort. It's so difficult for CLB to win these trades. It's likely to still go C9T's way.
Yeah. It's a crazy game. I want to get to the point where everybody is just had their advantages created. No, oh my god.
What?
Hard has Poacher's Knife.
Whoa!
Oh man.
I haven't seen that item in about 2 months.
Is he gonna smite it and run away real fast? Oh
no! It's on cooldown. You can't.
Nope, he can't.
He gets bonus money from it though.
Oh man,
we can track how much cash dollars he's taken.
It's gonna be great.
57 gold earned so far from Harvest.
Smite it.
Vroom! I'm Nunu. I'm a jerk.
Man. I played Nunu with Poacher's Knife the other day, and I was like, this is never gonna be a thing. It's never gonna be a thing. But apparently it's a thing.
If you thought Nunu wasn't annoying enough, here's a Poacher's Knife. And the thing is, we asked about this at the very beginning of the game. Gragas is a really good early jungler. He can do a lot of cool things. How is Hard going to play it? He can try to counter gank, or he can try to keep the jungle down.
Yep.
Let's keep the jungle down.
Yeah, he's got the max consume going on. He's got the Poacher's Knife in his inventory. Every time you Poacher's Knife smite an enemy camp, you'll get bonus movement speed moving away from it, and you'll reduce the cooldown of your smite. But look at this.
Ignite is on, cleanse is down. Scar needs one more spell, but doesn't quite. Oh, he does! Takes it out of the queue, but his distortion is... Never mind, it's back.
Yeah, low cooldown, level 9, already max rank on it, and he has the Fiendish Codex and the Forbidden Eye.
20 CDR and items, and a rank 5 distortion. Good things for Scarra, man. This mid lane matchup is absolutely working. He might be the saving grace of this one.
Yeah, I also think he has CDR glyphs. He's got 30 MR.
It's AP per level or CDR per level. You don't know quite which. I don't remember the base cooldown, so I can't actually check what they're going to be. Now, the character screen's actually busted in 510 Spectator, so I can't even see what his CDR is.
GG.
I know. Hard life.
Oh, well. But regardless, picks up the solo kill onto Jinte, the LeBlanc counter pick, working wonders for him. Jinte really wanted that poke champion, but now you can see 30 CS up for Scarra. Making the plays happen. Already has the completed Morellonomicon to just the Tear and the Ether Wisp. It's a very painful road for this AP Kog'Maw. He didn't get that first blue either.
Yep. Very long road ahead.
Oh man, I love this idea too from Hard. Just roaming around the jungle, smiting as much as possible.
He really wants the wolf camp too, just to get the wolf spirit to track the 3 camps in the western jungle. It's back up right now.
Did he ever clear it?
He got it last time. He didn't clear the full thing, so we just don't have the timer anymore. But he got the last wolf spirit. And that's just so useful. You can track literally half the enemy junglers camps. Lorlo up in the top lane again, goes Hex Drinker first. Wants to be able to deal with solo up in here. If the lanes get swapped, Lod will easily win that matchup and chunk these turrets down. But right now, Lorlo is built for the one-on-one against the Maokai. Lod has actually been pushed into his turret quite a bit here, oddly enough. Recall back for Pickaxe and the Avarice Blade, though. A lot of money coming through, but Blade of the Ruined King without boots is done for Frost. Still doesn't feel great to be the Babe without the movement speed, though. It'll be a bit hard to win the one-on-ones. It can happen, but it's difficult.
C9T, this 1K gold advantage, or 600 gold advantage, where's it coming from? Just coming from catching these minion waves, apparently. It's from Hard! And yeah, it's kind of from Hard. 600 Hard and Lod.
Oh, Scarra, be careful though. You just gotta face check slow, and Cog's doing some damage to you.
It looks like Scarra's up about 700 gold, but then there's a 600 gold advantage for Hard and Lod. Hard has just been farming. You can see he's got 45 CS to 43, but he's getting the valuable CS of the camps.
Yeah.
He's getting those scuttlers, and that's only going to be 1 point added in, but it's like 80 gold. So his CS is a little deceptive. Also, he's getting more from Poacher's Knife when he actually clears the enemy camps.
Those all spell good things for the C9T lineup. They're up just a little bit. Scarra, the only lane that's truly winning right now for CLG Black. The rest of C9T doing great thing all the way down the line. Lod is pushed in underneath the turret, does a bit of damage, but this is actually an overextension. He's going to take a lot of damage from Frost.
Nice trade back there. Sheep immediately coming to his rescue. Oh, almost.
If they knew where Nunu was, that actually could have been an engage. Frost could have ult tumbled in, gone for the Ruined King slow, and that might have been a dead Sivir.
Yeah, might have to blow the ultimate from Sheep, but if they were able to chase it down,
that's a worth
trade. Lod also had his too, so if you get enough ultimates out.
I mean, Dragon's up right now. Like, why not burn those ultis and make life easy? I mean, just chunking Lod to half would have been enough to get a Dragon fight there, so... one small fight missed by CLB, but that's okay. Recall's not coming in just yet. We've seen both mid laners come back. Still no Ludens for Jinte, but Sorceries are done for Scarra as Dragon has respawned. Top laners, Lorlo is missing teleport. He needs 2 minutes for that cooldown to come back. So C9T, if they've been timing it right, should know they have a teleport advantage for this Dragon, and they're walking towards it now. Yeah,
you talk about no Ludens for Jinte. It's going to be pain. He's about 500, 600 gold away from the needlessly large rod. So this next fight is definitely not going to have him with that needlessly large rod, but look at that.
They're not going to have Lorlo at all, so who even cares? C9T. Yeah.
Thinkard backed on the ward, so they had full knowledge that Thinkard was not going to be in the area to steal it. So they immediately go for it. And it's even hard to steal from Nunu in the first place.
Well, they know that all of C9T was bot lane, so Logic Gaming Black go for the hard push towards the top side. Sapling over the wall, actually. I believe Thinkard saw him.
They're just going to shove middle, though.
And that's a pretty big problem, actually. Jinte and Hard together could do a fair bit of damage. Scar does what he can to defend it, and it's going to be actually okay for them.
Scar is 2 levels up right now. He's doing an amazing job in his mid lane.
They're going to land the stun on the Lod. In goes Frost, the reset from Janna, and the teleport coming in for solo, but I don't think he's going to find anything here. Lod is 1 hit from dead. He's going to flash engage, but what follow-up even is there? Turns out that's going to be the follow-up. Lod will survive. Bloodbow to get him out of turret range, and they're going to knock that turret down. It's a trade for top lane, though. As Thinkard and Lorlo keep going.
There's nobody on this top lane, though, and Frost is still in this bottom lane. Frost can clear these waves, but they might lose another one in that top lane. Let us see. Frost got to be very aggressive.
Yeah, 1 versus 3. One misstep and Ice Blast turns into a Maokai, turns into death.
Oh, they're going to try to wrap around right now. Jinte, no flash, no cleanse. If he can knock him straight into Scarra, it's going to be disaster.
Can't dodge it, just wait. There's the point blank body slam. There's all the burst, and ThinkCard can cleanly walk away. Again, playing around Scarra. He's 2-0 and up 50 minions in this mid lane.
And Frost stepping up to the plate as the substitute. Jinte, though, in this game, he's been exploited. His champion pool, they banned away the Ziggs. Good strategy there by CLB, forcing him onto a different champion. He picked it early to stop Scarra from playing it again, and it was just a bait.
Man, I wish Jinte were playing Deep Sea Kog'Maw to really show us what kind of a bait it was.
See, there you go. You go with the voice when you tell a pun. You get very deliberate with what you're saying.
To make sure you hear every word. Aiden, your face. Get it? 'Cause it's funny. That's the joke. Zirene.
They make you cry in front of all these people, man.
You're not on camera.
It's rude.
I mean, we'll see your makeup run, but that's it.
rude.
Well, turrets right on both sides. Lod goes top side because Dragon's off the map, and why not push things with 80 bonus damage? But the same thing is to happen for Frost, who still hasn't recalled yet. He's got a lot of money in his pockets, but there's no defense here. Top lane tier 2. It's Nunu Janna plus an 80 carry. Simmer just destroys this crap.
This is exactly the same. When I talked about when they run Jinx in this composition where it's Nunu Janna, this is what they do. They knock down the turrets by grouping up with Lod, regardless of his 80 carry. Give him the shield, give him the blood boil. Destroys turrets so quickly. And you can see in comparison how long it takes. The
ghetto version of that same thing.
The ghetto version.
It's like, it's Nautilus Gragas Vayne. We're so good at this. My Ruined King damage doesn't affect turrets.
And nobody buffs anybody else.
Gragas buffs himself.
Whoa, whoa,
This
whoa,
is
whoa.
really aggressive by Scarra. Goodbye.
Too far forward.
And Lorlo and ThinkCard and Kenny kind of walking through the team. Very awkward by CLG Black. Gnarls him towards the turret. Wow, Lod's actually pretty screwed here, but he thankfully didn't have turret aggro until just now. But suddenly Frost shows up, and ThinkCard stays alive. How about some Vayne cleanup? Stuns Solo into the wall. A shutdown. What just happened?
Another Scarra bait?
What is up with Scarra baits in this series?
Scarra just dies, and his team will win the fight. He just has to start the fight with his body. That's it. They use so much to get to him, and boom.
They used a Maokai W at melee range.
I know, they went way too far up to the turret.
What happened?
They got wrapped around there, and Lod just had no escape route. He was caught between a rock and a hard place, and Frost came in the last couple of moments.
Frost had 3,000 gold in the bank. He bought Phantom Dancer Boots 1 after that fight. Imagine if he fought with real items in that battle.
It would have been one harder. It would have been one in the same fashion.
Sure.
But yeah, Scarra right there, he's like, Solo, really good job there of camping both distortion returns. Because regardless of which one Scarra had gone back to, Solo would have locked him.
No wonder.
Yeah, Jinte was on the bottom side trying to clear because they pushed down that tier 2. And then Frost comes in, and there's really no escaping here at this point.
That explosive cast was so massive.
Yeah,
that was so clutch.
Disengaged them, kept Lod on the right side. ThinkCard's been having a great game with these ganks and the explosive casts. That's why they first picked it for him. It gave him that early aggression. They banned out the Rek'Sai. Really just good pick ban from CLG Black. They're playing their own game right now, and they're making Cloud9 Tempest kind of struggle to play theirs.
Yeah, it's been difficult. Jinte is just held down. He just now is level 11 with Eludin's Echo. They managed to get the first 2 dragons without him, which is impressive stuff, but now we're up to Dragon 3. And yet again, C9T are going to have the TP advantage for it.
They do have the better siege, though. Much better siege. There's no wave clear in this composition from CLG Black. It's really all Scarra trying to pop in there.
That's true. Lack of wave clear is a pretty scary thing when your opponents like sieging against you.
They do have the split push, though, of Lorlo. So that's always...
They have 3 potential split pushers. Like,
yeah.
Just depends on the permutation.
Split push is always pretty good against sieging. You force your enemies into a different option. You force them into we have to go, or we have to continue poking but give up a turret. It's a tricky situation, especially if Lorlo gets massively ahead of Solo. Then it just opens up the entire map, and they don't really have to care too much about the sieging. All right, Dragon soon. Dragon very soon.
And no TV for Lorlo for 2 minutes. Solo's already top lane. Hard engaged, good flash by Jinte, but forced to cleanse as well to get out of it.
They still want to fight though. There's
Here's the engage. Vayne's almost in range. Thinkcard gets killed first. Here comes the TP on in. Solo to join the fight. Can he get much of anything? Scarra incredibly low. Force the distortion out. TP means nothing, in fact, but it at least means they can run towards Dragon.
That's going to be the third Dragon for C9T if they pick it up. Thinkcard a little too far forward. Lorlo wasn't prepped for that fight with his Meganar. Also didn't have the TP, so Solo was able to push out with the split push. And Hard just really good positioning to get into these fights. Walking up, waddling up as a Nunu. Got the slow on the right people and kept Thinkcard engaged.
Good stuff then. 1,000 gold lead still for CLG Black, but 3 Dragons to 0 is a pretty big deal here. This game determines who joins the North American Challenger Series. The loser must face Magnetic, former TSM Darkness, for the final spot in the 3rd place match next Tuesday. But it would sure be nice to get your spot right now. Frost, the newcomer AD carry. 1-0-3 on Vayne. He seems to be the big carry hope. Scarra won the lane, but
they dragged him back.
Then, yeah, he dragged Solo in, and Solo really by himself, living up to his name. The dive from Frost, a bit aggressive though, gets chunked out by Kog and Sivir. He screwed that fight up, but Laud chasing him for the kill will also get chunked out. Both AD carries are dead for that.
What?
Both AD carries went over aggressive.
Wait, when you have these frontliners, like you have a Nautilus, a Gragas, a Gnar, a Nunu, a Maokai, like these AD carries are just like, let's kill each other in the middle of everything.
You don't have to be Vayne to do Vayne spotting in this one. Both of them going hard.
Screw the back line. Screw the front line. Run past them.
Hey man, when you have movement speed buffs, it's easy, right? Vayne's even got Phantom Dancer to walk through things.
Oh,
there's no champion block.
No unit collision, no minion block, no creep block. Laud didn't even use his ultimate there. Didn't have it at the time, I believe. If he did, then he could have gotten in there faster
and died sooner. I mean, Benzi would have respawned sooner too.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Luden's Echo completed for Scarra, so now he has his own burst. And I love this Luden's Echo on her. Absolutely, just giving her that break point where she just has the distortion of a creep wave and blows up. And now Jinte isn't safe, Laud isn't safe, and there really isn't anybody who can peel him except for the Janna with an ultimate or a nice tornado, or the Maokai point and click. But that's about it. So Laud is going to have to watch the positioning. Jinte,
yeah, absolutely. LeBlanc's a scary champion. Now, one cool thing about the Poacher's Knife that Hard has bought is it allows us to track how many camps he's actually taken, because you can look at his total gold earned through Harvest. And it it's the base value of the camp plus 20, and he's at 268 gold earned from Harvest, which is like about 5 camps. Since buying Poacher's Knife, he's gotten about 5 camps to left.
Yeah, Poacher's Knife, the reason I don't like it is it telegraphs exactly what you want to do. Like, people are like, all right, you know, Trailblazers is fine, because it's like, I want to farm my jungle, but it means I also want to gank, because I have more HP and mana when I show up to these ganks, right? I stay healthy in the jungle. So I clear it quickly, and I get there. So it's like, it's double-faceted. It has 2 things it can do. We have like Challenging Smite, it's like, okay, I want to be able to go after late-game threats, but I can also just go ahead and duel the enemy jungler and go into his jungle and fight him there. Poacher's Knife, though, pretty one-dimensional. Poacher's Knife is always a little bit of a disadvantage, too, because if you walk up to somebody who has Skirmisher Saber or something to duel,
they're trying to catch
you're going to lose it. And Lorlo's caught at this point. There's no escape for him. But that's going to be the Baron started up here. If he stays alive long enough. Wait. Is he going to get Meganar? He might get Meganar.
Q flash from Solo says no thank you. TP is down for the Maokai. The rest of the team able to run back towards mid. No Baron will happen, but mid lane's getting pushed out. This will fall. C9T getting back into this one. And they will get close in gold after this within 1,000.
I'm actually really astonished that CLB decided not to flank around C9T afterwards, because C9T, they were still only 4 men strong. Solo was chunked out, didn't have a way to get into this fight with TP, and didn't even have the HP to contest. So if they had the right angle into it, CLB could have punished C9T there, especially with Explosive Cask and the likes up.
And I mean, getting a flank with the likes of LeBlanc and Vayne is a field day for those champions. They excel and spread out, you know, 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, things like that. Didn't happen. CLB still playing a little bit gun shy. They don't have that same poke composition, so they've got many fewer tools to pressure the map with. Scarra still playing fairly aggressively, still doing some damage, but just doesn't seem to be quite the same impact as when he was playing that AP Kog'Maw. And he was actually knocking people off turrets.
I mean, he still has the most kills on his team. He's 3-1-0.
Yeah.
He's got 50 CS up over his lane opponent.
Yeah,
He's
he won
doing a
lane.
good job there.
I mean, he definitely won lane.
But Kog'Maw doesn't, like, if Kog'Maw goes even, then that's a win for Kog'Maw.
Right, like, the thing is, Scarra has the lowest kill participation in this game.
Yeah.
There are 3 kills, but that's all he's done.
He solo killed Jinte, though, so his contribution cannot be understated.
I think it's, to me it's like a bit hard to measure, and I don't know. He did win lane really hard.
Yeah, he was 2 levels up at one point, but of course his experience, you need more of it. He ends up just 1 level up, which you take.
Blood-boiled Kog'Maw. Double marksman comp is here.
Yeah. Boom! There we go.
Actually pretty relevant, to be honest.
Talked about it being a marksman. Maybe
Need to play to the Ruin King.
Boom.
Just Kog'Maw things. Yeah, so solo is tanky enough. Frozen Heart,
always
Fred, Spectre's Cowl.
It's risky!
Scarra gets caught up and basically dies. Yep, that's all they needed was Maokai.
I was just saying it's risky. Yeah, I remember when I played LeBlanc, all you do, you try to jump in with Distortion, all he's got to do is point and click on you. He follows you all the way back.
Well, how about a counter-engage? Lod will still tank the Nautilus ulti, but the fight still begins as they root up solo in turret range. Frost does some damage, but it can't possibly be enough Absolute Zero to disengage. Thinkard knocks in
still
solo.
in?
They still really want him, but I don't know if it's going to be successful. In goes solo. It is a 5 versus 4. Exhaust on the Vayne means damage onto Thinkard, and it's a lot of it here. Hard. Forced to flash away. The poke lands, and Lod gets another kill as Thinkard falls. C9T back tied up in gold.
Tied up in gold, but this is going to be them getting their 4th dragon of the game if they're able to pick this up right here. So this control from the Nunu, the pick working out for them, and they're also just skittering around these fights. But man, Scarra, way too aggressive. Way too aggressive. You are so punishable on LeBlanc when there's a Maokai in the game. Speaking of punishable, though, they want more of this. Lorlo.
Great Howling Gale. Sheep wants to stop it. Lorlo going to take a lot of damage. He's not anywhere near Meganar. Kenny goes down, and Lorlo chunks his Hexbreaker from 1 ult from Cog. Unnecessary dive, and now 3 kills in a row have been given over to C9T.
Oh, man. Just, like you said, unnecessary dive there. Unnecessary to the limit. Because Lorlo's not even close to Meganar. He had just rezzed. That was a desperate play right there. And
he has no armor. He's built for the matchup against Maokai, and there's a very fed Sivir. Lot is 7-2-3.
Yeah, all he's got is the Ninja Tabi. But look at right into the cluster, and he's gonna get crit too. Crit. So 661 damage right off the bat. And that's the thing too about Maokai is you eat the W as LeBlanc, you're rooted, great. But then you get knocked up from the Arcane Smash and you still can't do anything. You can't snap back to another one. You can't cast another. Look at this fight. This is C9T.
But CLB have fought a lot of times. Solo will go down first. He went over aggressive. This time, Scarra baited it right.
Yeah.
He trained Maokai to press W and then go right into the team and die. So Scarra is the mastermind that CLB needs, but is it the mastermind that CLB deserves? The baits have been pretty damn good.
The baits have been hilarious to watch.
Sometimes he baits himself.
The one that didn't work out was so far my favorite. It was right into a cluster of 4 people. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, actually, you know what? I take that back. My favorite was the Kog'Maw one, where they came out on top. That was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. But the state of this game is very close. Vayne is big. LeBlanc is very big. But the thing is, C9T sitting on 4 dragons despite the gold lead of CLG Black. 1 more dragon and C9T can poke their way to a victory like for sure.
Everybody grouping up in the mid lane. Both top laners
Frost
showing up. They want to get this poke down. Frost.
Take him out. Scar goes to the flank. A lot of damage into Sheep. That's going to buy him a fair bit of time as Maokai tries to show up. No Righteous Glory used. And Sheep has gone Mikhail to help keep his team alive. I think it's a very smart choice for the extra support power here on Janna. But this is Game 3. Winner joins the North American Challenger Series, and you're seeing the gravity of the situation kind of start weighing on these players. Right now, Baron's up, and it's methodical. CLB getting the push in mid. Sheep forced ult early to get away from Scarra. He needed that or he would have died.
Lorlo's
almost mega Gnar. He's almost dead though as well. Lands a stun. He's gonna kill Lod. Down goes Sivir. Over aggressive, but Jinte getting a lot of damage to the backside of this one. Kenny is low. Think card as well. But is it enough as Lorlo's doing what he can? Jinte does pick one up. He knocks down the support. He's gonna get Think card as well. Scarra unable to fight and Frost too low to battle. It's a 2-for-1 in C9T's favor.
Amazing playing around that fight. Sheep able to just disengage Scarra at the start, and he used a lot to try and chunk him out. Scarra had to snap back, and then just the following fight, Jinte in the backlines, throwing out the living artillery and the front liners. Despite Lod with the misplay and the misposition being way too far forward, they were able to chunk out Lorlo and the rest of the team very early on, because nobody's really prioritized too much magic resistance just yet. You can see Lorlo won.
And he gets chunked out before Mega Gnar, even gets poked out by the Cog as well, I think.
Yeah, eats the Caustic Spittle there, so a lot of his resistances are shred at this point, and he really can't stay in this fight. Lod does get taken out, but Frost, he's not able to actually stay in range of Solo anymore, because then that means he's in range of Jinte. And I love the fact that Sheep is still in the back line, despite being low, and he has Captain Boots, so every time Kog'Maw turns around to run towards Sheep, he's running incredibly quickly.
The thing is, CLB actually had a lot of split focus there. They killed Lod first before the fight started. They got a Gnar ulti on some of the tanks, but Scarra was looking for Jinte, while Frost was dealing with people diving him, much like game 1. Solo dives Frost, Frost can't handle it, Frost can longer team fight. Yeah,
and zoning an AP Kog'Maw is pretty much impossible. You run up to him and he's like, no, I'm throwing things over you. He'll have to pay attention to you and run backwards a little bit and bait you into his front line, but otherwise, you can see the distance on that.
Yeah. CLB can easily just play around the Vayne. She can carry their team fights as long as Law doesn't kill everyone first. This time around, actually, Bloodthirster picked up third for Frost. Looks like he is feeling the extra pressure on him. I'm not sure if that's optimal, but...
Well, Lod, he is going for the Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah.
Fourth item, as opposed to the Bloodthirster we've seen from him before. Kenny wants to start this fight, though.
And he can't find the ult. He was trying to ult Kog'Maw, couldn't get it. Hard gets chunked pretty hard. Here comes the hard dive. They do get the stun, but will they reach him? Gnar ult does not stun him, but it will kill off Sheep. No, yes it will. The crit comes out. Low crit chance, but he gets it now. Solo trying to run, but Silverbolt's made a lot of damage. A 2-for-0 in CLB's favor.
They got rid of the heavy disengage, and Jinte, he was zoned from that fight. I said it's almost impossible. It's pretty much impossible, but they got him with the ultimate from the Nautilus, and he was out of the fight from the thought that Scarra could just leap in there. Here's the thing. Hard, low. He's kind of low. Scarra's in this brush. Scarra could blow up whoever comes in.
Though.
And they're TPing
in. Yeah, they TP in the Gnar, and CLG Black will force them away. But yeah, Dragon 5 is spawning in 6 seconds. CLB could not possibly get there in time unless CLB can't get there in time unless C9T dallies, which they won't. Nunu and Sivir are there. It's going to be 5 people with Baron versus 5 people with Dragon 5, and the gold is only 3,000 apart.
In all honesty, picking up that Dragon may have been better for CLB, but it wouldn't have spawned in time.
Yeah.
They would have been low HP, and then they would have arrived, and C9T would have already been there having purchased up. So now they have to use this Baron buff, and C9T, they have to use that Dragon 5. So Dragon 5 is going to mean you want to fight. CLB with the Baron means you don't want to fight too much, but this composition is not built for that. They're going to get poked out if they don't.
Man, this is like every League fans like awesome fantasy. It's like, all right, who would win, a Borg Cube or a Star Destroyer? Here we've got who would win, Baron buff or Dragon 5? This is my analogy, guys.
A Borg Cube.
Or a Star Destroyer.
A Star Destroyer or the Death Star?
No. The Death Star would clearly win. But a Star Destroyer versus the Borg Cube.
Borg Cubes are kind of insane.
But they're not the size of moons. They do adapt, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the Star Destroyer is not as equipped as the Borg
but I'm saying Death Star 1, which means there's nothing to adapt to. Death Star 2 would be easy.
Wait, are you saying Star Destroyer or Death Star?
I'm saying Star Destroyer. You kept saying Death Star, but I'm saying Star Destroyer.
I said, yeah. If it's Star Destroyer, I definitely think that it's Borg Cube favored.
Okay. Well, in that case, you're saying it's Dragon 5 favored.
Yeah.
Blue side is clearly Star Wars. C9T, the Trekkies here to push on forward.
C9 Trekkies.
See?
But they get to push on forward. The side waves are in the favor of CLB, though. And the siege begins dodging Jintae's skill shots, dodging his ultimate.
He's only 15, actually. Jintae's been held down so far. At 36 minutes, he's still not rank 3 ulti. That's actually very rare, and he's not even close to 16 right now.
He's pretty far. He's about 1/4 of the way there.
Yeah.
Frost, though, level 17. The substitute, 2 levels up over Laud right now. You can see they want to fight. They're posturing for this fight. There's a huge mini wave that's going to hit that bottom turret fairly shortly. And C9T, they can't stick around. They can't fight. Like I said, this team wants to fight with this Dragon 5, but the team composition is not the comp that's like, all right, well, let's fight them. No, we want to poke them. And CLB's comp is built to fight. But with the Baron against the Dragon 5, you don't want to fight. You want to siege.
Exactly. And the tanks, even if C9T wanted to dive, they're not tanky enough to tank a turret and a Vayne. So they just, even though they can survive LeBlanc, they can't poke through enough. Mid lane turret goes down. Nice push by CLB off the fact that C9T had to go down to the bot side. Another point for the Star Destroyers here is they are sitting 3,500 gold up. Baron timed out. Dragon times out in like 12 seconds here.
Just for the record, though, Death Star would win. So it goes Star Destroyer, Born Cube, Death Star. That order. From weakest to strongest.
Okay.
Just put it on the board.
All right. Put it on the board?
Put it on the board. All right, that one's pretty good. That one got me. That one got me.
All right, man.
Everything's expired.
I mean, we're back to where there's no objectives on the map for at least 3 minutes right now. Or about 3 minutes.
Everything on the line, though.
Lorlo once again built AD. He's built to try to carry. Whoop.
I like that stump.
Sneezed, I think.
I like that stump.
Yeah, it's a good-looking tree. Yeah, Lorlo built to be able to deal with solo. You can see he's actually getting a lot of farm. He's the second highest farm on his team. He's actually eclipsed Scarra here. Lorlo's still got a lot of room to go tankiness-wise, which means he's actually not great against Laud. Sivir can actually kill him in fights with a nearly full build. But as time goes on, Nar gets invincible.
It looks like he's going to go for a Warmogs as well with that giant spell.
There's a chance it's Sunfire, but I think it's doubtful.
Yeah, I was expecting...
But no, it isn't anymore.
It doesn't. Yeah, I was expecting Thornmail from him, but he just wants even more HP because that's effective against more members.
Yeah, it helps against Cog too, you're right. Although HP is not great against Ruin King or Cog's W, so it's deceptively not great.
It's deceptively meh.
I actually would have finished Banshees, to be honest. It's a good chunk of health, and the spell shield can matter quite a bit. Hard manages to grab.
I don't know about Banshees. Banshees or Spirit Visage here, because Banshees, there's a lot of ways to pop it.
Yeah, but if it gets popped, it's popped meaningfully. Okay. Unless it's a sapling. That's the only one you wouldn't want to block.
Yeah.
Everything else would matter. Taking a Cog looks pretty worth it.
Makes sense.
But, you know, he does want some other tank stats. And actually, the thing is, Warmogs is health regen. There's a lot of health regen. So getting regen against a poke team is actually quite meaningful. So I circle back to, I believe in Warmog.
Warmog Spirit Visage is what I would think.
Okay,
and
I
the
get
CDR
you.
on top of it.
I feel you on that one.
Because then he'll max out on it. We'll see. We'll see! This is
item.
why we watch the game! Because we get to see what actually happens.
That's true. I'm going to say Death Cap on Renekton in this game. We're bringing back Darien.
Bold move.
Champ's not even in the game.
Bold call. Yep. Banshee's Veil, you're right on that one. Alright.
I do like your rationale.
Yeah.
Scarra level 17 here. Kog'Maw has finally hit 16, so Jintae hit another important level. Actually, I think Kog is the most ult rank reliant champion. The difference in power between rank 1 and 2 and 3 is probably higher than any other champion in the game.
Yeah, the range means a lot.
A lot. A lot of wards. Looks like Dragon is the objective that everyone thinks they want here. CLB managed to get a fair number of very good ones.
Well, if we get that first one, it's going to be huge for Scarra. He'll hit another breakpoint and add basically like 30 more AD, 30 more AP on himself. Like, yeah, it'll be a nice bump.
450 ability power on him, 300 attack damage, so 18 AD on Vayne, 25 AP would go up to the LeBlanc here. Lorlo's Mega Narva gets disengaged by a Janna Tornado. Scarra on the wings. He's going to find anything. Mega Nar is here, and C9T has to be afraid of this one.
You have to be afraid of hard stealing it, so they want to pop instead.
They go in onto Lorlo, who again is not that tanky, and Laud kills him. Into the backline, Scarra misses the E on the stun Jintae. This means they can chase.
Frost is caught.
Frost is trying to run. He is caught. Pops the QSS, gets stunned up, gets killed off. A double kill for Laud. And C9T get Dragon number 5, number 2.
Scarra couldn't really do anything in that fight. And that, like you said, that's Dragon 5 going over once again. Unless they can do something about this, is he going to try to go for the hero play? Let's see. W. It's so hard to steal,
good luck with that.
Yeah.
The 1800 true damage burst. No, thank you.
Might be at one frame in there we could get it, but this is going to help them clear this Baron even faster. Frost won't be there. There's a TP available for Lorlo. If they go for a desperation play here. But right now, C9T, 100% in the driver's seat of this game.
Dragon 5 killing Baron is so quick. It's down to half already. Hard's already got a smite and consume back up. How would you even try to steal this? Scarra goes in for Jinte, gets him! Jinx, kill picked up. Kenny gonna get locked down, though. He's got nowhere to go. Down goes the CLB support.
Hey, Thinkar, what'd you doing in the pit?
Sneaking.
How'd you get there?
Walking.
Yeah, apparently he got there behind everybody. It's one of those things where you jump in the pit and you're like, I hope they didn't see me. Good.
So, Dragon 5 and Baron on Cloud9 Tempest. They are missing Jinte for 30 seconds, though, which might give them some pause, which will actually cut about a minute or so off of those buff timers.
Yeah, they're going to be grouped up for the Baron. So the Baron loss isn't that big for Jinte, but the Dragon 5 is the only one. But now CLB, they don't have their own buff to contest this doubly buffed up C9T squad. Scarra, he's going to look around. He's going to find somebody. He finds Hard.
That's a lot of damage.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Scarra's like full build. He just needs the Abyssal Scepter next, and he's maybe actually goes QSS to survive Maokai CC, but certainly Scarra is quite scary in this game.
Oh, he got interrupted.
Thinkard's losing a lot of health here. Siver's really chunking him out, and another kill's gonna go through. One last hit. Lod's on a rampage. He's 11-3 and 5, and Lorlo's gonna die as well.
Oh, these kills are just falling into the hands of C9T now. The gold evened up, about to be in their favor after they clear all these waves in Siege. There's a huge minion wave top. If they make it to the minion wave, Scarra's going in for Jinte!
Oh, and he gets some, trades his life, but I think that's generally worth it. Problem is it's now a 4 versus 2.
For a minute.
Frost and Kenny could not possibly stop these sieges. Mid lane goes down. Gigantic wave top lane. Here comes Cloud9 Tempest to keep pushing in. And that's going to work quite well for them.
They're going to Baron buff this up. There
this
are
is
two
a dead inhibitor for sure.
This
could be the game. It's a 4 versus 2 for 20 seconds with this many minions. This is going to be maybe the challenger ticket for C9T. They're pushing forward.
It's all up to Frost the sub. He can't really do too much, though. They're so tanky, and they're just going to ignore them and go straight for the game.
Ignore champions, acquire objectives. Never mind, Frost goes down. Kenny's going to lose his life if he sticks around. That will be the Nexus. Cloud9 Tempest in a 6-1 run will qualify for the North American Challenger Series.
That was pretty much the only time in the game where they were actually ahead.
Yeah.
They got behind early, dropped down 50 CS on Jinte to Scarra, and then just one misplay after another led to CLB falling behind. Scarra ends the game 7-3-1, and he still loses the game.
I mean, Scarra managed to make some individual plays, but the team fights just did not work the way CLB wanted. We had multiple picks. Lorlo built for the split push, and that's fine if you're able to split push, but Lorlo got himself into team fights a lot, and when you've built a Hex Drinker and a Black Cleaver where you're spending like 4,500 gold on 400 health and 25 MR, you die really fast, and a Blood-Boiled Sivir is going to do that to you. A Ruin King, Blood-Boiled, level 18 Sivir. Lod killed Lorlo way too fast. He killed Thinkard really fast as well, and the front line could not hold up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Maokai Kog'Maw makes Vayne run away.
Yeah, another really good game from Lod. 13-3 and 5 out of the 21 kills, involved in 18 of them.